Our focus tonight is on grandparent grief. We chose the disco because we figured a lot of our grandparents know the 70s and they'd maybe come if we had a fun theme. But grandparent grief is something that is really sacred, and we're going to learn more about that over the next couple speakers. So it is my incredible honor to introduce you to my mom, Alana's grandma, Rose Nelson, who's going to share some reflections on loss.
Good evening. I am Grandma Rose, Kim's mom, and I want to share a little bit about what pregnancy and infant loss looked like when I was growing up, because it was very different than it is today. When I was a child, pregnancies weren't talked about. Miscarriages weren't talked about. Loss was kept secret. My parents and grandparents never shared when they were expecting, and they certainly never shared if they had had a loss. The only memory that I have of my mom having a baby was when I was 4 years old. I was the eldest. My youngest sister was born in the car in front of the hospital while my dad was inside getting help. That was the first time that I even knew a baby was coming. She was actually the third child my mother had, but I don't remember the others. It was never discussed. My husband, Ken, his family had the same kind of experience. No one talked about pregnancies or miscarriages. It just happened, and it was never spoken of. Ken's mom had a stillborn son at home with a midwife. His oldest sister, who was about 4 at that time, remembers hearing her mother scream. The other children were sleeping upstairs. They never saw the baby, and they were never told about what had happened. Years later, when Ken's mother had passed away, Ken's brother went with their father to put some flowers on the graves. And then his father just sort of mentioned, I guess we should get some flowers for the little guy. Ken's brother, he was in shock. What little guy? He said. And that was the first time that he had known about a brother, a stillborn baby boy. The baby had been buried by the grandparents, but he had no name. And for many years, he didn't even have a headstone. Eventually, one was placed that simply read, infant son, and the year that he died. That was it. No name, no birthday, no story shared. The pain was kept inside. Mothers and fathers suffered in silence, and it was not good for their mental health. It was not good for families. And I followed the same pattern. When I had miscarriages, I kept silent too. I spoke only to my doctor. Even our older children whom we had adopted didn't know when I miscarried. There was no ultrasounds at that time, and we never saw babies growing inside. I lost mine early. I don't even remember the dates anymore, and I tried to forget. Silence was the norm. So when Kim experienced miscarriages, I could relate to her pain. And then came Alana Rose. When Alana was stillborn, it was heartbreaking beyond words. Her brothers, Quentin and Christian, knew that their baby sister was coming. They felt her move. They were excited, and Kim and Corey were finally going to have their girl. But she didn't make it. And Kim almost didn't either. Blood transfusions saved her life. The hospital staff were extraordinary. Because of the coddle cot, the family was able to spend precious time with Alana to hold her, take pictures, create keepsakes, and we even made her burial gown from Kim's wedding dress that was to be saved for her for some other day. It was the first time in my life that I ever held a baby that wasn't alive and wasn't going to be coming home. I know I was in shock. I still feel the weight of that day. But this time, something was different. Alana was named, she was held, she was photographed, she was loved openly, she's remembered, and that matters. I am so grateful that Kim and Corey started the Alana Rose Foundation. This year marks her 7 years of celebrating her birthday. She's not hidden, she's not forgotten. She existed, and she's part of this family. A baby is a gift from God, and every baby deserves to be recognized with a name, a birthday, and a place in the family's story. I am thankful that times are changing. Pregnancy loss and stillbirth should be talked about. It's better for your mental health. It strengthens families, and it allows siblings to understand, and it allows grandparents to grieve, and it allows healing. Everyone grieves differently, but there is strength in knowing that you are not alone. There is comfort in community, and there is healing when grief is brought into the light. Alana's death was an ending, but Kim and Corey's love for her created a new beginning. From something heartbreaking, they created something beautiful, a foundation that supports other families walking in this painful road. Alana's legacy lives on. Grief can become something meaningful. Love continues. So thank you, Kim and Corey, for turning pain into purpose. And thank you to all of you here tonight for supporting families, for remembering your babies, and for helping change the story of future generations. God bless you all. Thank you for listening.